2.7 FM. That is the frequency. Today, the 22nd of November, 2024.
Yeah.
And it's 1 minute past the 10 o'clock hour.
Mm-hmm.
And I love you.
I love you too.
No, not you. Like everyone who's
I
listening
love
right
you, and I love everyone listening. I wasn't particularly referring to you.
now. Rolling my eyes. Well, the phrase "I love you" is something that
You see what she
before
just did?
now-
The African thing. The only thing is when you want to marry them, or when you're toasting them, you're a married man, you love them. That's the problem.
I know. The phrase "I love you" is something that growing up, I got to hear a lot from my parents.
I did not got to hear it.
Exactly. So on the flip side for OSYB, he didn't get to listen to his parents say that.
I never
or
heard it
hear
from my dad.
Them say exactly from his dad. Oh, but you heard it from your mom once in a
I
while.
heard it from my mom once in a while when I grew older. And the interesting thing is that, you see, if anytime we are on the 2 day close to my papa, I didn't suspect him money. I need money. So I love you was not a conversation.
But the phrase "I love you" is something that should resonate with parents and children.
Yeah.
You should be able to tell your mom "I love you," your dad "I love you," and they should be able to say it back without feeling some type of way.
So that it won't shock you when a guy or a boy or girl wants to lie to you and they say I love you, and then you like, oh my God, someone loves me. Jesus.
You already know that love exists at home, and so it transcends to you even putting out more love to other people. I always say this, that I grew up with a lot of love, and I have a lot of love to give.
I
as
have
an
a lot
individual.
to give.
So I mean, at the back of my mind, every time I get off the phone with my mom now, I just tell her, "Mommy, I love you." She tells me I love you. Even sometimes we reciprocate the love. And it wasn't the same with my dad. Yes, it was. But if my dad was a little older before he died, or if he was still around or alive,
And I'm going to play the love.
see, nobody would tell me I love you, and I'll feel okay. My daddy loves me more.
Well, and really, it's something that is kind of very funny. It's funny because it's supposed to be something that we give freely. It's supposed to be a
Exactly.
lifestyle. For people from my faith, from our faith, I'm believing that we're of the same faith.
Yeah, Christian.
Love is actually a lifestyle. It's a decision that we must continuously make. It's not a feeling.
It's not a feeling. Yeah,
It's like
it goes
a
beyond just
lifestyle.
being a feeling.
Yeah, because if you want to look at love as just a feeling, it's fleeting. But then if you see it as a lifestyle, something you must always emanate, it would not be hard for you to express it to your father, your mom, your
Even
brother,
your
your sister,
friends.
your friends.
There's one friend of mine, Jenny. Every time we get off, oh, love you, baby, love you too. Like, it's my siblings, my brothers. Okay, so there's some siblings that are very stiff, sort of, and that's my last brother. Every time I tell, I love you, love you
He's
too.
a coconut head. He's a coconut head boy.
Say, love you too. And
Maybe
I'm
he feels
oh
like
my
you're
God.
trying to baby him when you say it.
I always baby him. He knows that.
You baby him.
Oh,
That's
and he
it.
knows
But then,
that.
regardless of whether you're being babied or not, I think men should get comfortable hearing "I love you" from their friends, from their fathers, from their mothers, because it's men. I think it's generally men that.
There was a social experiment that I saw on social media.
Okay.
And I saw that social experiment as something that a lot of people should indulge in. So it says, okay, call up your brother and tell him I love you. Call your brother and tell him I love you. And a couple of guys did it. Some of them were like, yo, man, are you okay? Are you good?
You good,
And
bruv?
I'm like, okay.
Are you
like,
okay?
does he have to be not good to tell you I love you? One just went on like, what's wrong? Are you good? What's
you
going
need
on? I'm
money?
like, do you need anything?
That's how.
He said, no, I just called to tell you I love you, bro. And I'm like, okay.
It's weird though. My
It's
dad.
okay. It's
my-
okay.
My dad. I think the first time I said "I love you" to my dad, he was shocked.
He was shocked.
He was
I
shocked.
think that parents and kids need to know that. I mean, tell your father you love him. Tell your mom you love her. And let them tell you that back. Because guess what? It becomes...
You know the funny thing, when I told my dad I love you, he almost asked, "Are you dying?"
Are you serious?
Or he wasn't. I'm not dying. So why are you telling
What are
me?
you telling me?
This was 2018.
I feel like it should
Do you
change
know
with
how
our
long I had
generation.
lived before I said "I love you" to my father? I lived like well over 30 years.
Before you said you loved your father.
Yes.
Oh, I never got to get over
felt
my mom.
genuine
letting her
love.
you.
I felt genuine love for my father. I would never forget. It was my dad did a lot of things that showed us he loved us regardless. Like, so when we were growing up, he would take us out. My dad took me out a lot of times where his meal, he would leave me, okay, I went out with my dad one time and we went to this really, very nice place in Ikoyi. He was renting an apartment in Ikoyi at the time, long story. So we went to this very nice place. A meal was served. I got up to go to the toilet. So when I came back and I opened my plate, I met a chunk of of meat or fish or something or chicken
that he had eaten from his own meal.
and then he puts it on my plate, and that was love. So, but
So
saying that,
actions will
Another
speak
one.
louder than voice, but sometimes you just need to tell.
to say it.
You need to say it. You need
So
to say
I
that
was
you
in
love your
JS3.
kids.
It doesn't nobody say my papa no love me. I was in JS3. We had a school party. I was talking to my mom about this shoe that I really liked because that's what boys were wearing. It was Chucks at the time. We were wearing long Chucks, and there was particular, that one that looks like this.
Yeah.
So I told her and I described it. My dad was hearing the conversation, and it was just like, if I could get that shoe, it would be nice. It's expensive. And you know what? I was just playing around school, and I just saw someone was like, there's someone behind you, and like, my daddy. I was shocked, and he in a nylon bag, he gave it to me.
Over to you.
I cried, child. Hard guy. I went, because it was such a beautiful thing, but he has never said I love you.
So the thing is, we know that parents love their kids. We know that for a fact. I mean, you didn't bring them into this world to not show them love, right? We know that exists. And actions, they say, speak louder than voice. But sometimes you need to say it to your kids so that they know that you actually do mean it.
You know the day why I jealous.
Say that again?
You know the way jealousy catch me.
How?
And I'm saying these things because it was lots of moments in my life where I wish my dad could have said it. So, I have a cousin. They grew up they were born in the UK. They grew up in the UK and then they came back to Nigeria. So, my cousin and his dad were coming up the stairs. Sadly, his dad passed on a long time ago while they were still really young. So, they were coming up the stairs. I said, Dad, how was your day? Blah, 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 blah. And, he talked about his day and everything extensively with his son. I had never had that kind of conversation with my own popsy. Now, Daddy, don't come back. Everybody go and carry your book.
Exactly.
And then, there was this day they were on the phone together and he says, I love you, Dad. And I heard his dad say it over the phone. And then the phone line went dead. And I'm like, these people are loving themselves.
I've never felt, not that you haven't felt love, but you haven't father say
I
it
go
before.
do holiday now here with them.